All right, guys, welcome to another Good Morning Meeting. It's your host, Parker Anderton, and today we're going to try something. Maybe you like it, maybe you don't, but we're going to rip a solo episode. Guys, I am so stoked to talk to you today. I've been thinking a lot of, hey, if I only had 15 minutes to train someone, to give them what I felt like was one of the most pivotal, tips or trainings that I could give them, what would that be? And so, what I want to talk to you guys today about is turning your mind into a weapon. I believe that your mind and your self talk is the number one differentiator between good and average reps and the most elite. So, I'm going to kind of break it down for a few different ways. So, number one, thoughts that you have lead to feelings and feelings and emotions lead to actions. And so, if you track back all of your bad days in door to door, almost all of them, you can track back to these thoughts that you start having. Oh, dude, I'm the second person in the neighborhood. Man, I wish I would have knocked here one day before that guy. Or, man, it's hot out here. No one wants to buy. That person's a Karen, whatever it is. And what happens is those thoughts all of a sudden start to elicit feelings, emotions within you, feelings of stress, feelings of anxiety, things that aren't serving you. And those lead to actions and outcomes. And so, one of the things that I started to become obsessed with early in my career is learning how to control my self-talk, which inevitably controlled my feelings and emotions, which controlled my outcomes. And again, this is way easier said than done. But I want to break it down in a super simple principle that I go out and teach to guys on the doors. And it's how the 30 seconds between doors really is the biggest determinant of the thing that determines your success more than anything. So let's put it this way. I believe confidence is never neutral. Okay. Your confidence is always either increasing or decreasing based off of like thoughts and things that you're having. You think about your best days in door to door, the days where you were crushing it, you didn't have to worry about this because naturally you were having this thought loop of, oh, dude, I'm good. I can do this. I'm crushing it. I'm amazing. I'm going to sell the next door. I can't be stopped. And those feelings, just like the negative ones, actually lead to, or sorry, those thoughts, like the negative thoughts, actually lead to feelings of positive emotions, confidence, belief, hope, which lead to actions and outcomes. And so the key here is to understand, what does the 30 seconds between doors look like for you? Okay. Um, and here's what I learned all day. Your only goal, or one of your only goals, should be to increase the odds of selling the very next door. It's that simple, right? The problem is, and I want to break this down for you. Imagine you knock on a door, you bomb the pitch. It's terrible. You fumble over your words, you say the wrong things at the wrong time, you piss the customer off, they slam the door, they tell you they're calling the cops. Now you have this 30-second to a minute walk to the next door. Does thinking about that in any way serve you? No. Because when you think about all the mistakes you made, how terrible you were, how you could have fixed it, all that's going to do, those thoughts are going to lead to feelings of like, man, I suck at this job. I can't do this. My manager would have sold that door. And if that's happening, I want you to answer the simple question. Do those type of thoughts increase your confidence? The answer is no. And so if it doesn't increase your confidence, what does it also do? It decreases your odds of selling the next door. The elite know this. They understand that sometimes you have to be a little bit of a psycho. You have to lie to yourself and you need to control your self-talk, because if you control the thoughts, then you're controlling and being intentional about the feelings and emotions, and then you control your outcomes. So this is kind of where it started for me. I remember getting in my iPad, and I remember just writing down these like positive affirmations that I would recite to myself in between every door. Sounds a little crazy, but I would do it. I'm the best. I'm the best person that's ever knocked this area. I sold 12 today. I'm amazing. I'm the best rep ever. I want you to understand something. It doesn't matter if those things are true or not, because by saying those things to myself, it elicits feelings of confidence and hope and faith and just feeling like I can do this. And so what I realize is, if all day I just start talking to myself like that, forcing myself to read it over and over and over again, what happens is I'm controlling my mind. I'm turning it into a weapon, not a weakness. So many reps, their mind is their biggest weakness. They are their own worst enemy. It's not a skill thing that's holding them back. It's that all day they're decreasing their odds. And so by changing this all day, no matter what happens on the previous door, I'm saying things to myself that are increasing my odds of selling the next door. And it really is that simple. So let's go back to that situation. You bomb the pitch, you say all the wrong things at the wrong time, you piss them off, they tell you they're calling the cops. I'm walking away from that door, and in that 30 seconds that I'm controlling while I'm walking to the next door, I'm reading, I'm the best rep ever. I can do this. I sell everyone. I sell everyone. I'm amazing. I will not allow myself to think anything that decreases my confidence, that gives me feelings of stress or anxiety to the best of my ability, because I know that my job is simple. Go increase my odds of selling the next door. I want you to think about this. Think about the last day that you had that really sucked. What was your talk like in between doors? I can almost guarantee you were just beating yourself up all day. So no wonder you were decreasing. If you're decreasing your odds of selling the next door because you're decreasing your confidence, yeah, of course you're not getting like a lot of sales. I think something that this plagues is rookies. Logically, guys, I want you to think about this. This is rookies, vets, pros, whatever. When should you be getting the most sales? Logically, the end of the day, because that's when the most decision makers are home. That's when people are getting off work. That you're going to have the most doors answer. But now take a rookie or a vet who's struggling. When do they feel like they have the most hope? It's right after the morning meeting. They go out, they're amped up, they feel positive. They go out, they have this positive self-talk until 2 or 3 negative things happen. And instead of controlling their mind, pushing things onto that stage of your mind, I'm the best, I'm amazing. And again, whether those things are true or not doesn't matter. But instead, all day, they're just beating themselves up. All day, they just decrease their confidence. So by the time they should have the highest odds of selling people, they actually have the worst odds because their confidence is the lowest. And I've seen this. I've seen how rookies come out of the gate hot. First hour, they're amped up. And by 3 or 4 hours in, because they haven't controlled their self-talk, which also means they haven't controlled those feelings and emotions, all of a sudden their outcomes are written for them and they just can't succeed. So if I had to give you, one piece of advice to absolutely change your selling career, I'm telling you, it comes down to controlling those 30 seconds between doors. No one else is doing that. They're focusing just on the pitch and all these other things. And at the end of the day, you could have a 10 times better pitch than me. But if I have more confidence than you, I'm going to sell them and you won't. And the way that you build that confidence is based off the way you talk to yourself. And it is a habit. And it's super hard. No one is harder on themselves, in my opinion, than me. And it's a habit I've had to break and something I've had to develop about talking to myself and building myself up and building my confidence and doing that just literally between doors. Most reps just don't think between doors, or they get on Instagram and then they compare them. I'm telling you, write positive self-affirmations down. Don't write them in the future like I'm going to be the best rep. Write it specifically because the words you speak matter. Say it like that. I am the best rep. Whether it's true or not doesn't matter. I remember competing against Drew Hansen, Zach Seeger, Cody Olive, Skylar Griffin, Ben, Calvin, all the greatest reps of all time. And here's the thing is thinking for even 1 second that they're better than me doesn't serve me at all. So I would tell myself I'm the greatest sales rep of all time every day. Whether that was true or not, it's what it did for me internally. It made me believe that I could do it. It increased my confidence. And that's why I think I sold so many, right? And it's something, guys, that doesn't cost you a dime to do. You're not signing up for some coaching program. You're not like going to some morning, like literally, I'm telling you, go get your notes tab on your iPad or phone, write down these positive self-affirmations, and imagine what your day would look like if every single door in between doors, you said that to yourself over and over and over again. At first, I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. You're not going to believe it. You're going to feel like an imposter. The more you tell yourself something, the more you believe it. And so what's going to happen is if you tell yourself you're the greatest rep of all time, at some point you're going to start believing it. And if you start believing something, guess what? You're going to start acting like that. And I'm telling you, it is such an underrated thing. You look at Tom Brady. Tom Brady's actual physical ability, kind of interesting, right? Wasn't really a starter in like college, wasn't a lights out player, all state in high school. He gets drafted 199th. So like on paper, they're saying you suck. He didn't score well in the combine. I feel like I read one time that it said that someone said that his body wasn't fit to be a quarterback. Despite all of that, what makes Tom Brady, amongst a lot of other things, so great is his mindset. The way that he talks to himself. He says, it doesn't matter what they say about my 199th or what my body is. He believes he's the greatest of all time. So Draymond Green says that. He says, you don't mistakenly become great. You must first believe you are great, and that gives you a chance of becoming great. If you really break down that quote, he's saying, hey, let's say you want to sell 200 accounts. Don't wait to sell 200 accounts to believe you can do it. Go believe you can do it right now by telling yourself every single day that you can do it. And then you give yourselves a chance of doing it. On my Golden Door summer, guys, I remember getting a vision board and having right in the center of it a golden door. I saw it every single day, hundreds of times. I remember having a notes tab that said, I am a Golden Door winner. I sold a Golden Door. And I put so much time, hundreds and thousands of hours in between doors of just telling, before the summer and in the summer, just telling myself I already was a Golden Door winner. And guess what? It made the bad days way less bad because I wasn't having an identity crisis. If I had a bad day, it was like, dude, I'm a Golden Door winner no matter whether I have a good day or bad day. Like, I'm a Golden Door winner. I didn't have to sell the Golden Door to believe that. Think about how many times someone has a goal, but they let their outcomes on the day-to-day basis determine whether they believe they can do that goal or not. They have a good day, okay, I can hit my goal. I have a bad day, dude, I can't do this. I don't know if I can sell 200 accounts. Maybe I should change my goal. The goal here, guys, is to go train and create a bulletproof mindset. Make your mind a weapon that propels you, that when you have those bad days, you're not questioning everything. You're like, yeah, it doesn't matter. I already am that. Funny enough, guys, to get vulnerable, I set a goal to do 1,000 accounts 2 times, never did it. But to this day, I believe I'm a 1,000 account rep. Because I said it over and over and over again. I didn't need to sell 1,000 accounts to believe I could do it. And there's beauty in failure. There's also been beauty in success. Both of those years I didn't sell 1,000 accounts, I sold a Golden Door. The principle here, guys, I'm telling you, is your mind, it can be a weapon or it can be your biggest hindrance, your biggest weakness. And it's so simple. It starts with your self-talk. Maybe after this podcast, you just start to be a little bit more aware of the things that you're saying that are toxic. Guys, who cares what happened on the last door? Does telling yourself how much it sucked or telling yourself all these negative stories, does it serve you? So just start telling yourself the story that serves you. I might have 100 people tell me no. But what if after every single no, I'm like, you know what? I'm one no closer to a yes. That story serves me. I had a team one time, shout out Luke Diedrich and the boys. They had this thing that they coined called the do meter. And I believe, and this is kind of what I'll end with, guys, is every single person that's listening to this, every person has a metric, regardless of what that is. Maybe it takes you 100 no's to get one yes. Maybe it takes you 10 no's to get one yes. But every single person listening to this has a metric. So you get to determine how you view no's. So let's say it does take you 100 no's to get a yes. You can view every no as something that's terrible, something that's bad, something that proves how terrible you are and how incapable you are and how much confidence you shouldn't have. But if it's going to take you 100 no's anyway, what if you started viewing every no as a good thing? What if you viewed every no as something that was getting closer to a yes? Again, look at it this way. If I said, hey, man, I'm going to give you $10,000 as soon as you get to 100 no's, would you not be amped up to get through all those no's? Because you knew you had to get through 100 to get that $10,000. So this team, going back to Luke and the boys and John Fox, what they did was they got these literal meters. Like when someone walks into Costco and you see someone clicking the meter, increasing the numbers. And they started to view no's as something that was getting them closer to yeses. So every time they'd have a no, they'd click it. 1, 2, 3, 4. And guess what would happen? Where most rookies and vets, the more no's they get, what happens? The less confident they get because of everything we've already been talking about. Well, this team took power in deciding how they viewed no's. Every time they got a no, the more no's they got, the more due they believed they were. I'm telling you, I've never seen rookies and vets be so excited to freaking get no's. It was crazy. I'm watching in the chat and they're sending in a picture of their thing. It's like, I'm at 37. My do meter's about to pop. They get another no. It's like, I can't believe it. I'm getting the next door. And I might sound a little like I'm exaggerating here. I'm not. I'm not kidding you. This team turned no's into a good thing. The more no's they got, the more they believed because it's true. Like at some point, every no is getting you closer to a yes. And the difference between that team and everyone else is they took control of how they viewed it, how they talked to themselves. Every other team, oh man, I got to know I suck. Oh, another no, I can't do this. This team was like, look, man, I got to know. That means I'm closer to a yes. I'm amped. And they built their confidence. And so tying it all back in with a nice little bow here, what they did, guys, is they gave themselves higher odds no matter what happened of selling the next door. More no's they got, they're like, hey, my odds are going up of selling the next door. They talked to themselves the right way. It elicited the right feelings and emotions. And what happened is they controlled their outcomes and they crushed. Guys, such a cool principle here. I'm telling you, learn about it. 2 pieces of advice. Go listen to the book or read it called How Champions Think by Dr. Bob Rotella. And then if you want to just see something that talks about how important the words you speak matter are, go on YouTube, type in the words you speak matter, Jesse Itzler, Jesse Itzler, and go to the one that's about 8 minutes long. And he talks about the power of like self-talk and speaking to yourself. And it's so, so powerful. And guys, I'm telling you, your mind is your biggest weapon or your biggest weakness. Decide today which one it's going to be. I'll see you next week on Good Morning Meeting.